We're grinding out all my rust. We're gonna start with my roof, and then we're gonna get rid of all this rust. We're gonna grind it, sand it, treat it, and then we're gonna use fiberglass mat and the resin and hardener to repair the holes that I have. And hopefully that is going to solve my leak problem and kill all the bad rust, make all the rust go away. Well, so far, ground out all the rust on the outside roof. And then if you come around to this side, there was a bunch of rust all underneath that little lip and on the inside of the lip. So I climbed up on the ladder and I ground out the inside of the lip, underneath the lip, all the seams on the roof, all the seams on the top of the roof. Yeah, and then I'm gonna grind out the inside and then rust treat it and then fiberglass the holes, and hypothetically it's ready for paint. Okay, so now that the outside is all ground out and sanded, now I'm gonna do the inside. So we started out with just a tiny little daylight. I think this is the hole that we started out with, and now we have all of these, and they're only gonna get bigger as we continue to grind them out. So we gotta grind out all this rust here. We have a little bit of rust here on this seam, and then the very back seam, which I'm sure there's daylight coming through that one, so that's definitely gonna turn into a hole. But yeah, and then pour 15 in fiberglass, fix all the holes. Van is gonna get a bath after this. She needs it desperately.
Oh yeah.
Okay, scary. It looks like maple syrup. Like, I mean, it's very thin maple syrup. I'm gonna start up at the front.
Good idea.
Ow. Bondo fiberglass mat because it's more sturdy than the fiberglass cloth. And I mix the resin. It's 10 drops of hardener for every 1 ounce of the resin. So I have 4 ounces of resin, 40 drops of hardener. So now I'm gonna take my pre-cut pieces of the fiberglass cloth, make sure that it's gonna fit over it. And now I'm gonna take my brush, I'm gonna brush the resin and hardener around where I'm gonna be putting the fiberglass. And this only has like a working time of like 8 to 12 minutes once you mix the hardener and the resin together, so you gotta go fast, small batches.
It smells horrible.
I think it smells great, but... And super duper important to wear gloves with fiberglass because fiberglass sucks.
Yeah, you probably don't want to breathe it either. Probably want to wear a mask too.
Oops. Do as I say, not as I do.
Definitely do when you do it inside.
Yeah. Okay, and now I'm gonna take my fiberglass.
Just pressing it down in place.
I should have pre-cut more for over there. And then, once you have it on there, saturate it with more of the resin.
Yeah, put it right on there. I feel like I should be wearing gloves as I'm watching you do this.
And also, I would recommend using like a regular paintbrush over one of these types of brushes.
How long does it take to fully cure?
The bottle says ready to sand in 2 hours. Ta-da! First coat. Yay!
Good job.
Fan things. They're even where the holes right there. I think that as far as fiberglass goes, I'm done for tonight. I'm curious to see what happens with that front seam.
Yeah, me too.
Because there wasn't a hole in that until we ground it out. And the hole was on the opposite side from where it leaks. So this is the real life of van life.
Yep.
Oh, the harsh reality is just spray painting in the dark.
Well,
hello, it's day 2. So this is the progress update. This is obviously not going to be how I'm going to leave the final product, but fiberglass obviously cured in a couple hours after we did it. It's been a little less than 24 hours since we first applied it. And my plan is that I'm going to sand this out so it looks pretty goopy. There was definitely a steep learning curve with it. Good news is that today it did monsoon while I was at work, and I did check for leaks, and it doesn't appear to be leaking. So I think we fixed our leak problem, which was the ultimate goal of this whole thing. Definitely a little easier to see everything now that it's daylight and not dark. We were kind of racing the sun last night.
Yeah.
So this is the seam that has the most holes. So obviously right here, I did the fiberglass really, really, really thick because right there is the big hole. I put on a couple extra layers of the mat there. And again, this will sand out real nice and we can paint right over it and you shouldn't even be able to see it. All the over drips and stuff will get sanded off.
hey, the 8 looks pretty good.
Miss a spot.
Yeah, I did. You did too, though.
So this is the inside. Obviously, I have all my tools from work in here, but... So this is obviously where the biggest holes are, is this middle seam. So up top, it looks really, really thick from in here. I haven't put a layer of fiberglass yet in here. But, I mean, it's rock solid. And today, while I was at work, it definitely rained. Prior to the repair, you can see where the water leaked through. I checked for leaks after the storm today, no leaks. So, and that's without any fiberglass on the inside. There's only Pore 15 on the inside right now. I only fiberglass the outside. So, very hopeful. I'm probably gonna end up putting the fiberglass cloth. So we use the mat up top. I'm probably gonna use the cloth on the inside for ease of working with it and making it more exactly how I want it. We just use the mat on the outside because it's sturdier and more weather resistant and things like that. So yeah, I would say that overall it was a success. Very tired. and definitely a steep learning curve. Wear gloves and start early. For sure, you don't want to be racing the sun. Doing the commercial for the lab safety, and he has to like rinse his eyes out in the sink. That's how I feel with these glove and goggles.
Yep.
What was that? I'm safe up here. OSHA approved.